they are one game away, effectively, or one map away, potentially, from making their way into ESL Pro League Season 17. They would be our second Chinese team to make it through this season. Of course, we're Adam already there. IHC could be the one nationality that people don't expect to see on the list.
Round to start things off with the pistol this time over. IHC are just going to use it casually, but it's Annihilation sneaking through connector, comes up for the big one, and of course he doesn't realize Zacher is behind him. Zacher has found the perfect timing. Looks like Talbot before is there to try and cover. This crossfire is broken apart. Zacher and Starry will be able to make short work, and it's all down to Techno and his dualies. They do not want to contest up against him through this narrow choke point, but with westmelon finding the kill, Techno's forced back, and Zacher is more than happy to discover him and take him down in that particular process.
Yeah, a little awkward to start off this round with how quiet, and I guess there was a kind of a lack of direction, you know, just players making their way up through the bathrooms and slowly converging towards connector, but not exactly traditional pathing I would expect on a pistol round. But then being so spread out, it was also very hard for IHC to read. Only the one kill for Annihilation. Maybe bLitz could get something more, but overwhelmed by sheer force and numbers. Had a kit as well, so would have liked to have saved that. Moving into the next round, if possible. There's a good argument to have for, you know, what's the point in saving on CT side when you lose pistol? But I think if you have kits, HE, or like some utility or something of the sort, it has its value. See the second round force buy here from IHC, but hopefully we don't see Lynn fall foul to it. I think it's something that sort of artificially inflated the scoreline for how Inferno played out. Lynn more, I think, more in control than the other way around.
Bartek just looks so shocked. What? There's fire here? Why is there fire here? Well, regardless, I don't think it's going to be a round where he cares too much about his HP being slightly missing, obviously, despite a lot of opportunities for IHC to capitalize on low buys, and one of them they actually did in the first map. Can't imagine this being anything but a comfortable scenario for Lynn Vision.
Yeah, if Bartek had been burned on their full gun round now, then he'd be pissed. Could matter, though, against the SMGs, the Galils. Puts him in one-shot, headshot territory for those weapons. Doesn't have head armor, so would have probably been popped like a melon regardless, but certainly helps to have more HP when it comes to fights of that nature. 45 seconds here. Lynn are starting to posture themselves up for a B-sided play, and there is a good timing to hit here. Only 2 players are left in defense, and that's the SMG of Bartek, as well as Techno on the pistol, and Bartek actually bobbing and weaving, finding success on that first fight, but Techno will lose his life just as swiftly, and Score was quick to move his rotation in. Annihilation's scout does find a head, and with Starry low HP as well, and Helly taking more tag damage, Annihilation is finishing off business, and this is turned around very quickly. X-Pro is the last man standing, but both of these IHC players are oh so low. If there was an HE, X-Pro can maybe just finish them off just like that, but with 10 seconds, he has to prioritize the plant, and this wants to close that distance. X-Pro gets nothing from it, smoke faded, and so Annihilation finds 3 in a round that IHC have barely no business winning.
Forgive me, Mr. Annihilation, I have sinned. I dare say that I don't expect him to show up over here, and with the scout, he has done it all right in the round where IHC looked like they shouldn't have had a chance. X-Pro was so confident on the lurking position, he thought he'd just be able to cut off anyone who's trying to save later on, but no intentions of saving whatsoever. Annihilation. Wow, what a round coming through from him.
Hey, you think about how well that started out for Lynn. They get the double entry they're looking for. They trade successfully. They cut off Score on the quick rotate.
Perfect.
Then Annihilation hits the headshot, and then it's just tag after tag after tag.
Bad days is what it is.
Well, here we go again. This time it's Lynn on the back foot. They're on pistols.
I think Techno might have come out of ahead. Now he definitely has to turn the corner. Bartek's there to give him back up, and Techno stays alive long enough to pick up the quick double. Grenade at his feet might do the job, but Still leaves him with 12 HP, and that is 11 more than he needs. At least that's what it feels like right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough thing to look at. So from Starry's POV, knew that Techno was close and was just hoping to overwhelm him with brute force and sheer speed, but when you're moving and shooting, you're not very accurate, and that doesn't sometimes matter at these close range fights. You know, I think in some respects, Starry's maybe a bit unlucky that he doesn't finish off that frag, but if you ain't standing still, you're not accurate. You can't only put so much faith in bullet RNG. I think we will definitely look to see whether Techno can maintain his consistency.
Oh yeah,
we saw on Inferno.
he's a fantastic anchor player as well, right? Like you can't forget that. Overpass and Inferno are always two of the maps where I think he does the best on. It's actually, I know that we talked about how good Lynn are on Overpass, but the thing is, IHC is very high variance in Overpass, in my opinion. A lot of it comes down to, hey, is Techno hitting his shots and is bLitz getting the calls out right? I don't even necessarily think Annihilation is the biggest like X factor in deciding that. So they can look really bad on it, and we've seen some terrible overpasses from IHC, but also their ceiling is very high.
Yeah, variance is the right way to describe it. High highs, some low lows. Only Glocks here for Lynn in round number 4. Easy enough sweep up. Okay. Score taking several dinks, and in fact, the third one will do the charm. Could be anything that actually is capitalized on, though. Sorry, cannot pick up that weapon. There are players that are immediately captured and taken Score's previous position, and in fact, he's getting flanked as well. So, no harm, no foul. Score got his bell rung too many times. IHC still in the lead, and all off of that, again, the early propellant we had on Inferno was a mobile win for IHC, albeit it wasn't scouts, it was only pistols, there was no armor. This time it's a second round buy from IHC that finds themselves in the driver's seat and slingshots them into the lead very early into the second map. Well, early short control will be gained here for Lynn Vision. Bartak's a little bit too late to the party. He decided to reinvestigate that area. Boost will be built, and there is a smoke that's down. This did find success as well. Connector, the door was blown open, so Nelly's feet were showing.
Lynn need to be able to do some good economic damage in this round, right? Like, winning it is obviously nice, but it looks unlikely with the utility the way it is, unless you just have some crazy shots from westmelon, which he's definitely capable of, don't get me wrong. But alone on the lurk to be able to get a quick kill or two, and especially once he's revealed his position, seems very unlikely, right? So at the very least, you have to do damage.
They're actually creeping up long. Flash time is not ideal, and he's actually full blinded by it. Blytz gets his kill, and bLitz able to double up alongside him. X-Pro, last man on that long assault. Westmelon's actually cut off, so it's an X-Pro clutch needed. And yeah, I think they know. I think they know.
Was bLitz blinded by his own flash or the enemy flash?
Enemy flash.
Right.
Just
okay.
the right timing.
Yeah. I got confused for a second. How did that pop so fast?
Yeah. Blew up in his hands.
Like the worms grenades where you can decide when they blow up.
You like it on the first or the second bounce? Underrated.
Well, 4-1.
Worms.
Oh, fantastic. There's a few games that I would like cost. I would fall over my feet trying to go cost it. Worms is one of them.
That's just hunting nostalgia, 100%.
Completely with you.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, so Lynn Vision are maybe setting up for what could just be a quick bomb plant situation for themselves, right? Like, they've got a lot of utility. They've got maybe a plan from behind it. Get some damage out. See if you can get a bomb plant. Something of the sort.
Good info gathering here from Score, but he needs some help in falling back, and that's what Annihilation is in position for. Pistols, we're trying to hunt them down, and Zacher will find that AWP. Wish he had one himself, but on this round, the one where they don't have the funds necessary. IHC doing a great job of just playing together and playing in packs. Sometimes we see Overpass teams a little too detached from one another. Right now, IHC are remaining composed and trying to maintain the buddy system as well, but great flash and great double kill here from Starry. They did not find bLitz, and that's the one player that will go missing. I don't know that they're going to account for him in from long. bLitz kill onto Starry as well as the planter, and finding the triple is key. bLitz a big piece of this round in a moment where Lynn thought they might have actually secured that extra money. Only X-Pro remains once again, and he's been left in lurking clutch situations before to no avail, and this time as well will find nothing. I mean, what an effort for bLitz.
I mean, you're talking about securing the money. I feel like that could have just secured the round if they get the bomb plant over there as well, right? bLitz, getting the triple just is the big safety net. You are never expecting two players to be caught out wide open, fully blind for so long that Starry has time to body shot one of them down with the deagle. That's a big safety net that kicks into play.
Yeah. I think what's as well led them to believe that long was maybe clear is that it looked like those two players within the bomb site were almost transitioning to start taking over long, which is, you know, kind of redundant when you consider that bLitz is already in position. But if not for the fact that they're giving some attention to long, Lynn probably think that it's occupied. You know, if they're only fixated in front of them, they'd think, oh, well, somebody had to have been watching the long cross. So in a weird way, Starry getting that double kill helped set up bLitz.
Easier to get multi-kills if there's fewer players to steal them away from, right? That's the term, right? It used to be the logic for Nico and Simple carrying their teammates back in like 2015-16.
Well, Blamaf lets his teammates try and fight first, and then he heals them all afterwards. So that is very fortunate there for Elliot. Full blinded.
I didn't think he'd get it.
They carried the spray for a little bit, stopped, and then re-engaged the spray, so...
Just for good measure.
What did he have to lose? If he wasn't spraying, he just dies with a full magazine, so... That's a key player to lose out early, though. Score in the center of the map would have acted as fast rotate on either an A or a B play, but that's why it's so important for Ortiz to consume the connector. You can see them now as well investigating the bathrooms. Annihilation is playing the other side of them, but don't have information about how much progress Lynn have made.
westmelon spotted out, but obviously without the actual kill, you don't know which player it is, so you can't confirm if it is the singular lurk and try and stack on the basis that Annihilation's all alone. He gets a tag, but not the bag, and Melly will be trying to keep himself alive, even gets aggressive with that sliver of HP. This is a difficult round to retake. They do have an incendiary. If they can get it down on default in time, that would be good, but they don't even try to go for that. bLitz might not have the lineup because he tries later on, just with a manual throw instead.
Yeah, and they're moving to save already, and I think Lynn have identified that. Molotov thrown, but very little presence shown by IHC after the fact, and they made a gamble call. You know, they were split 2 and 2 apiece. bLitz was with Annihilation up until the point that the A site started seeing Siege, and had they had bLitz in close proximity, you know, could have had that Molotov down as well to make the fights Annihilation took a little easier. You know, we saw him land the tag and then just continue fighting, and he almost has to a certain degree, because if you understand that you are isolated on that bomb site, he knows long is very likely to be pursued. So fighting forward and dealing with one of the prongs had to be his priority. Just couldn't hit the shots. A nice slow round there. I think we've seen a lot of slow building moments from Lynn Vision so far on this T side, and part of that has been, you know, their economy hasn't been in a great place, and they're trying to sort of milk the rounds. But this time as well, they got that early kill, but they didn't feel the need to accelerate. You know, getting a kill on the center of the map can be hard to lead yourself towards the site, but they also just let IHC overthink it.
It's very similar to what we saw Rare Adam actually doing to IHC yesterday as well on Inferno.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. westmelon has been a menace out in B short, right? Like, every time he's sent there to lurk, he doesn't die till very late round situations. Generally is good at not revealing himself and even getting a frag over here, giving them the early 5-on-4. This is going to be a hard time for IHC. If he continues his performance, the score should be gone. Starry delays out that re-peek forward as well, but content with the refrag. Doesn't lose anything for it either.
I think Score also caught quick switching after his kill. Maybe thought he had an extra couple seconds before another fight would come his way. Wouldn't have survived likely because of his HP exchange, but again, chewing off about a minute on this clock with the man advantage being held here by Lynn Vision, they can now move to group up together and move towards one of these sites. That spam from X-Pro doesn't do a whole lot, and that may actually help convince the IHC side to reinforce this A site.
I might have given up the game. Annihilation can maybe even take a slightly more reinforced position rather than being... Actually, they don't have smokes. They can't push him off, right? The problem is there isn't an incendiary either, so it's not like you can prevent them from getting the bomb plant in. The crucial kill will be on Starry if they can find it. bLitz takes him down. Annihilation wants to get aggressive behind it. bLitz gets a double. Annihilation's picked up westmelon, and by the time the bomb is retrieved, there isn't enough time. X-Pro, this is going to be right on the dot of it, and as he gets the plant down, it will be his demise met soon after. The only guarantee he gets his money.
Yeah, no success, and probably the last possible tick to get that bomb down as well. Didn't matter. Great job there from bLitz finding those 2 kills, and, you know, it seems like a small thing to fixate on, but, you know, throwing a flash as you're leaving an area, or or shooting one shot just as you're about to leave is something that most high-level players will read into. You know, it's a tendency that people have as they sort of rise through ranks to do, just to sort of, oh, well, I'm still showing presence here, right? And they're hoping that the opponent isn't going to anticipate that they're instead going to go the other direction. Now, if they really wanted to move out of connector and retake short, if they wanted to spam certain areas of the map with the AWP, they would continue spamming, is the problem, until they found a kill. Or they throw a flash. You know, usually those are the activatables. So, small thing to note, but something that definitely helped reaffirm the idea of having a second player over at that A site, which helped significantly in stopping that plant.
Not just second player, but even where bLitz was standing, right? That makes a big difference as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Unless you're...
move ahead of the smoke over at Monster and lost his life fairly early. There was a flash, but...
Right, as I praised him. Starry smoked off as well, and Lynn Vision. I know I said that this shouldn't be a situation where they should feel too much pressure, so we shouldn't see, you know, the quote-unquote choke coming through, or any such decisions, but down 6-2 in a place where you're in advantage, that can be pretty damn tough as well. X-Pro's demise will drop the bomb as well. And at the rate that things are going, Lynn should be down 7-2 pretty damn soon. I think they've got enough in the tank for a buy in the next, but I'm not sure about what the loss bonus is.
Yeah, they should be able to squeak out a buy. They'll be able to get everything they want. You know, AWP could be missing if they want to sort of slow work some of these angles. Especially with the pace that they've been implementing on this T side, that might be something they consider, you know, moving for a half buy. It's the more conservative of the approaches, but yeah, a 7th is completely held onto. Saving these weapons as well does have some value.
Also, more than that, you can't really do too much damage to the CT economy right now, right? The only problem is going to be if you die after time. That would be a nightmare and a half, right? Score doesn't want to explore too deep, though.
Yeah, so AKs can make their way into the hands of every single one of the players here on Lynn Vision. If Nelly had died after time, that would have been catastrophic. Not to be, though. IHC holding on to a number of their players, not losing a single life here in that previous round. So they now have a nice little economic buffer should Lynn Vision start to answer back. I think the rounds we've definitely seen the most success here from Lynn has been when they've established early control, especially over towards short. IHC have not been so assertive in that area. They've tried to build boosts in late rounds, but never actually put the player inside of in short water. Annihilation actually getting forced off of his angle, only taking a singular bullet. 10 damage is all it did. It will be enough to scare him away. This time they take over the bathrooms. Last time they tried to slow work this, Annihilation's AWP was in position, I think, to punish Shex.
Might have been the case, but right now, Score has been the one punished, and again, Starry has gotten the better of him quite a few times at this point. Score has not quite had the same games as his teammates have been having so far. X-Pro's even taken time to move forward and reveals his position deep into the toilet. Now, this sounds like someone trying to sell a fake. I know I'm biased because I can see that, but yeah.
Well, they have decided, they've run the simulation, and they believe that B will be much more successful. Last time a slow approach like this was against the low buy of IHC, and they had great success on Annihilation. This time, smoke that's down. Bartak's able to get one, but around the corner of it, Techno's trying to make use of the exact same smoke. The success will not carry forward. 1 for 1 is about as, or 1 for 2 rather, as they get into that bomb site and get the bomb down. And they can certainly make an argument to save here. This is a little bit too far gone, not great amounts of utility. Molotov from bLitz could force out the initial bomb planter, but Zacher is actually just standing his ground, didn't make his way onto his spot, and so IHC are tapping out.
Oh, nice shot from X-Pro as well. That's just a very awkward position to find both of your remaining B players in, right? Like, you've got double water play without, like, the smoke down next to Pillar to stop them trying to proceed through from the toxic side. I know they've got the one way for themselves, but that generally works best when you've got someone either in graffiti or back CT. It's just a slightly awkward position to be caught out in, especially when you consider it's not like Lynn Vision had that much utility, right? So you couldn't have just been fully flashed down or anything like it. So just a difficult deal, and Lynn making the right call to hit the B-bomb site, find the vulnerability.
One of the awkward fights as well for within that B-bomb site is the fact that when you're inside that smoke or you're inside a pit, you actually don't have the best friction on the ground. It's something that's, I think, underrated when you talk about fights on Overpass, is that the floor is slippery on short water and within the B-bomb site. And so, you know, your strafe can sometimes take a little bit longer to come to a complete stop so that you're accurate. Small things like that makes the fights a little bit more awkward
is
on the
that
CT side.
Real?
Yeah.
I thought that... I was told that. I thought someone was just messing with me.
Nope. Friction is different based on the substance that you are standing on, and so it can affect your ability to sort of hold momentum.
Oh my god, Michael, you're the Counter-Strike scientist.
Well, I wish that were true, but I haven't run many experiments.
Well, right now, IHC are testing out some hypotheses, and they are coming up smoking. 2-1 Pride bLitz about to make this a 3-for-1, but Nelly somehow gets the better of him. That's the A1 disadvantage right there. Not really, but I'd like to think that.
Yeah, I mean, he knew he was getting shot at that much quicker than if it was an A1S, I suppose. That kind of range, an A1S actually can finish in 4 bullets. Still
Let's
strong.
had an A1.
Yeah, well, he didn't land the 4th bullet, clearly.
Yes, that is true. This is true. Bartek's heard that utility being shot forward, knows that it's going to be a B-side hit, and the call has been made for Annihilation to start rotating through as well. Lynn Vision do not have short water control, so for them to rotate back towards the A-bomb site would be nearly an impossibility. Bartek now doesn't need to worry about short either, but westmelon, what an entry from him. Unfortunately, Techno's on the other side, and he is really the immovable object of the B-bomb site. IHC will find their 8th.
Very quick on the trigger there, Techno, but they had a bit of an inkling as well as to where Lynn were positioned, and I think they also had that discussion about how they wanted to set up on this B site, should it come to these late round moments, you know, playing from different positions, you know, not staggered inside of pit, this time playing from the pillar as well as from within sight, so just having a second prong to the assault, just able to double up and get the trade. Really nice work there between the IHC players, but not stabilizing the economy here for IHC. You know, they've still got a decent amount of cash built up on Annihilation, who's been the piggy bank, but most of that cash will go back to himself should he lose the AWP.
They could find Bartek, couldn't they? No, never mind. Bartek's in a slightly more defensible position than I thought initially.
Oh. We're trying to retreat from his early surveillance of the monster tunnel.
Let's just get a wallbang right back, though, so makes it even at the very least.
Would have liked to have gone away for free there, but bLitz has been very heads up. Always has been.
And they hear Annihilation jump spotting right now. They know exactly what he's going for, and he even gets tagged up, Molotov to the back, but he's got the bomb down. They need to go back and recover it. Annihilation coming alive on this A bomb site. He has had a fantastic map so far. And you can't say the same about westmelon, but if this is the opportunity for him to start coming alive, well, maybe could have started to change the tides, but Annihilation is the tides. He is the moon itself, the gravitational field of the A-bomb site.
That has to anger you if you're Lynn Vision, because they've capitalized on the fact that Annihilation is jump spotting, and usually when you're in a spot like that, you know, you think about Mirage and you hear somebody jump spotting at the end side of Van, you anticipate what their next move is going to be, probably to jump spot again. And they find a timing where between his jumps, you know, he sort of lacks that information, and they almost kill him off, but then he gets 3 kills on the defense. You know, the two that are trying to scale in quickly and take away his positioning on the bomb site get dealt with almost instantly. Annihilation very quick to dispatch of them. There's types of moments where you know where he is, you know how you're gonna punish him, and you perform the right execution. It's great, but yeah, Annihilation hits some nice shots. Then what can you do?
I know I said that Annihilation doesn't seem like he's the biggest factor in IHC's success on Overpass, but I might have lied.
I don't think he's as much of a requirement on some other maps, but he's definitely making up for the sort of lack of performance from, say, Techno or Score. Techno in sort of late rounds is great, but there's been early aggression sometimes it's not been the most. Spam is, I mean, unrelenting. They never ran out of ammo because there were 2 AKs spamming at him.
I believe the term is ay caramba.
Well, sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't actually know what language that is, but I've just heard people say that after something bad has happened. So, in cartoons, so I'm assuming it's safe for work, right?
I was stabbed in the dark that it was Spanish, and it turned out it was. So.
Oh, what does it mean?
Just denoting surprise or pain.
Oh, there you go. Pain. That means, oh no. Got it.
Or could mean like good grief.
Fair. Works
We're a
either way.
long way from Spain, though. Here, watching IHC Lynn Vision. But this could be Spain without the S here for Lynn. This is their map pick, and they've started on the back foot, 10-3, and we've seen some really solid work here from IHC playing together on bomb sites, reading off each other, and actually having some solid late round reads on what Lynn are up to.
Also down by some fantastic individual play, yeah?
We're actually just gonna face check the monster smoke. And there's nobody there outside of westmelon who's more preoccupied with short, and so he gets shot in the back. So is Bartek as well, finding the kill in towards connector. Annihilation's AWP as well has dealt with Starry, so the only way they can make their way through is through A. And Annihilation, I think, is already... No, actually, back completely offered up, but unable to hit the shot. Expert 1 on 5 needed now. and has to be super crisp where he was not at the start of this.
Yeah, this would be around, I guess. Realistically speaking, he doesn't have a chance of a hit. Techno's coming in from the side. Annihilation. I think he might have heard us talking up Starry's 4 KD, actually. He's sitting on 7 right now. 21 and 3.
Yeah, kind of a madness.
Yeah, kind of like vintage Overpass all-ping performances.
Yeah, I anticipate moving on to the T side that will probably change. Harder to keep yourself alive.
You'd hope so. Ooh, double up now pulled out. Core one's 1-2.
We'll pull this out against Rare Adam as well, and it was pretty successful. The Mirage showing as well. Shots and the score is able to capitalize on the fact that they thought there would only be 1. But instead there is 2. Last round of the half as well, so you gotta make use of that extra cash while you can. Score fired off on long, and so do they. Banana, without fully anticipating the angle, seems that is so. Zacher dies, and I don't think they spotted the bomb. You're only seeing a shoulder. It doesn't quite pop up on radar all of the time. So they anticipate that there is movement here on Lynn Vision, so 3 are in proximity on the defense.
He's gonna peek again. I'm telling you, he's gonna peek again. Maybe not quite that brazen. X-Pro's revealed his position. Score is there to pick him up and knock him down. With this, westmelon doesn't quite manage to find Annihilation behind that smoke. The only casualty so far has been Score, and while Lynn Vision have been taken a little bit out of the map, 1 by 1. It seems like westmelon might be able to give them a shot here. Annihilation forced to try and reload. Still, right to the head. Didn't even need it, and now Annihilation wants to keep it going. Quick flash popped up, and that might be the wrong play. westmelon will still fall. 12th secured for IHC, and they are looking to take this to 3. We'll be back after a short break to see whether they can.
In the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to ya. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with stripe. There's a lesson when you breach my life. It'll be chin checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses. And I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring? Cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer. Cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. man. I know you're scared.
Yes, that scoreline is indeed accurate, and yes, this was Lynn Vision's map pick. You might not believe it, but Nuke seems to be our current destination unless the Tigers and Bears or whatever they might be can come through and overturn this train over to Nuke. Let's see whether they've got it in them in this pistol round as Nelly starts off with the only member of the utility.
They may have once upon a time referred to themselves as chess pieces, but IHC, I can't believe they've thought so many steps ahead that Lynn picked a map that IHC were just going to dominate on. How far ahead did they think? Good amount of space here for IHC on the pistol round. And no forward positions for Lynn. So a very similar sort of start to this round, or start to the pistol on this map. Lynn's T side as well, but there was a lot of aggression towards the bathrooms. Expro is left to his own devices, though, and he will be the one under pressure. That's to try and prioritize his life. That flick is great. Blinded up by the flash and still able to get his one, but teammates are coming now. Plant can be secured for IHC.
Great job from Expro. I don't even think he was actually had any vision during any of that. Just some muscle memory coming into play. Score is hoping this will be a funnel through garbage, but unfortunately for him, he loses out the duel instantly. Blitz long range with the Glocks. He's coming up big. Vortex still alive as well, but the defuse is coming out. Nelly brought down immediately. They somehow keep 3 players alive. Blitz. God damn, this man with his triples from long.
I mean, what can you do when Blitz is by his own, you know, taking this fight from all your players coming out bang and just winning the duel? There's not a whole lot you can do to counteract that, aside from try and kill him faster, and they just failed to do so. Blitz, great job on that pistol round. Feels like all the hope is lost here for Lynn Vision. Scoreline like this coming into the second half, pistol round felt like a must. Now they can afford no slip-ups, no minor mishaps.
Might have been major mishaps. That's a nice kill for Expro. Westpro, I was about to say. Expro to find. Unfortunately, it is already a weapon that has been taken right back out of his hands. Score has been farming up the cash and not can even move back and pick up the Galil if he so chooses to do so. And yeah, easy pickings, 14-3 on the horizon. Nelly is an ant waiting to be crushed by an elephant.
Well, eventually he does get crushed. And a score that finds 4 on the MAC-10. A lot of money built up because of the SMG bonus, 600 a pop, so 2,400 into his back pocket. The math is quick, but so have these rounds been. IHC are making sure that we move to a map 3 rather swiftly and putting the pass behind us and moving into a new territory.
Getting over the pass?
Yep, getting over the pass. For something, his brain got confused, but this has been a confusing state of affairs from Lynn's side. Came with confidence, they did well on Inferno, even with the mitigating circumstances.
All the point though, because Nelly, he is getting ready to be second point of contact over here. It's all about Expro and Zacher being the ones to initiate this duel. And as soon as Zacher does, Nelly's going to want to start to get exploratory. Around the corner he'll go, but Zacher's already found the second, and Expro's gone and made it 3. Score. Meanwhile, a USP on the ground. And he'd retrieved earlier on, and that's all he had. Couldn't actually lengthen his arms enough for the AK on the other side, and he will end up falling. Bartek, last man alive, and at least Lynn will be able to get one on the board on this half.
Pretty nice crunch towards the fountain control here from Lynn Vision. Not exactly a sort of an orthodox setup as well to pull it out so early in your CT half when you know that making mistakes is effectively a moot point. You know, taking a risk like that, that's something that you can only admire, because given the circumstances, given the pressure you're probably under to, you know, they're still trying to win this game. The pressure you're under to not make those errors and make the wrong call is an admirable trait. Much more like it if they're going to find success, and adding some extra variance to what IHC anticipate will be key. That was a bit more bog standard here from Lynn though. The connector presence, bathrooms are split up, and some pressure has been received over at long. Should be able to pull back X-Pro, but could be at a bad timing. No, he actually stands his ground and finds Annihilation for free.
He's moving in. X-Pro gone, back to a 4-on-4. Oh, Starry's actually pushed all the way through connector and found two big frags. Drops the bomb in the process, as well as Zacher acted as the second prong of the pincer. And with that, Techno's all alone. And look, it might be early days to discuss this, because Techno does go ahead and find a quick kill. But let's not forget, IHC did have a really big lead against Rare Adam as well, right? Like, there's a world where Lynn Vision could maybe make this competitive.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. But we also have to be realistic with where we currently stand. You know, there's no reason to think that the game would shift.
We're in that world.
Yeah, we're not in that world just yet. You know, the closer we get, the more we entertain the idea. But this was a good job here from Lynn. I thought X-Pro was going to give up his spot over at short because he had Starry inside the connector. You know, they set up for this sort of 2-1-2, and with them falling off of the long control, thought X-Pro would be a bit more fixated that direction. But yeah, being able to couple up together, holding hands on their defensive effort, and yeah, Starry was the one that they ultimately didn't account for. That will be something I imagine IHC amend in future rounds. They'll want someone to clear out the connector so that something like that doesn't happen. Will also give them more options in the round, because once they sort of make all this progress over at A, because they have no presence over at B or short water or inside the connector, they don't have a whole lot of chance to sort of reset back to the other side.
I would have really preferred to see a force fiber here coming up from IHC. Their money in the next round is going to be so messy. It's only 2,400 bonus. Techno's going to be on 27, right? Blitz on 4K. It feels like whenever you're putting yourself in a situation like this, the only option you have in Overpass is to go for like a quick B-side hit with the Tech 9 on Techno.
I try and close that gap. I think they anticipate this to be a save here on the Lynn side. Very aggressive maneuver here from X-Pro. Or maybe he was just thinking, well, it was so free for Starry last time, so I'll just take it.
Oh. Timing's good on the flashbang. Spray not quite as much, but westmelon does pick things back up as he starts to fade away. Techno still alive with the AK. He has managed to lurk all the way forward to the A bomb site, only to be picked up and brought down by Zacher. And so far, CTs have managed to keep their health around, and Score is the only one to find some frags. It makes it 2, but won't matter all too much.
All the extra utility is recovered as well there from Starry, so things going well here for Lynn in the early phases of half number 2. Now reinvestment here from IHC. Like you said, the money's on a great spot with Techno buying, but the rest of the team not. You end up in a bit of a mishmash, and you certainly don't get that AWP out in early. They have rounds to play with. They could have played with their economy. Mirror that, but perhaps they're confident they can win rounds like this. Low buy wins were certainly a success on Inferno, but they'll start by having Zacher's AWP uncontested at range. Bartek's gone in the early phases.
Oh. Really taking advantage of Expo, trying to get aggressive straight up through the connector again. This time, bait him out with the ladder, and they've got the quick switch out. Nice to see.
Yeah, we saw Expert get abused in connector against Rare Adam.
Yeah, he was ravaged.
But a position he tried to hold last round over and was successful, so maybe thought he could try it again on a gun round. So this is the options opening up here for IHC. Connector presence and now resetting outside of the B bomb site does mean that both Starry and westmelon will have a certain amount of hurt coming their direction, but they do have an inkling. They're starting to move Zacher over as well.
No, initiates, but it's Starry to come out on top of the duel score. Needs to move through the smoke, but he's not feeling comfortable to do so. westmelon, that flashbang has ended, and he's managed to find some space back to Toxic Barrels, and that's where he'll take down score from. Bomb will not be planted either. Starry's spray is enough to prevent it, and bLitz as well. He's gonna have to go back and try to save again over here with 10 seconds left. The only real chance he has to accomplish something is even out the money for his team, and that is what ends up happening. 14-7, Lynn Vision are creeping closer and closer. High time that we see that tag come out.
Yeah, feels like IHC are probably just taking a second to just make sure that everyone's on the same page. You know, there might have been a couple of strats that they throw in so as to sort of get this map over and done with, but it's not going to be quite so easy. The Vision are not going to go out without a fight. And I do expect that they will fixate on the connector with the amount of success that Rare Adam had in dealing with X-Pro, with how well they're able to dispatch of him in that previous round, but also the fact they almost get caught out by it. You know, the fact he is able to get so close to the end of the connector that somebody coming down the ladder almost dies as a result of that. You know, those are small things where X-Pro hits a headshot, perhaps he gets that kill where it's covered by a teammate effectively, and it shouldn't happen. You want to make sure that all your I's are dotted when it comes to how these mid-round defaults are constructed. They are there to protect each other and protect yourselves from being shot in the back, effectively.
You sound like an airline announcement.
Best way to protect yourself is protecting others.
Yes. Bartek, however, would have loved to have some protection from others. X-Pro, and takes him down, exploiting him.
I wonder if he'll play more outside and to the bathrooms. Some have success there earlier on. Starry was playing instead. This is another one of these rounds that I think we'll certainly see IHC milk this as much as we can. Play on the impatience of Lynn Vision against the pistols.
Lynn are maybe going to end up biting down into it, right? But Techno doesn't spawn out the ladder. That could have been a quick chance for a kill, and as he moves out from the smoke, trying to aggress through it, won't quite be able to get his crosshair to reset in time. So, with 28 seconds on the clock, yeah, this should just be a gimme. Flashbang out there. The score is waiting for the smoke to dissipate, and with as little HP as he had, he was really never going to find too much, and they managed to keep all their players alive on the Lynn Vision side, 14-8.
Just gotta keep up the momentum here if you're Lynn. 6 rounds difference now between them and IHC, but another bye will be around the corner. They should anticipate 3 or 4 of these before they can start cutting down on the fact that they might be able to turn this game around. A 12-3 half is what we came into this one with. And IHC won the pistol, so since we've been on rifles, Lynn have been able to turn it ever so slightly. But maybe it's not just him. Bartek actually getting aggressive to start off this round. X-Pro and Nelly do respond in kind. Connector and short were those, or actually both of these players coming out of the connector being dealt with. I think Annihilation will be the one to pry bar his way back into this round if IHC are going to have a chance. And he was the one that we had in the hot hand. We were talking about his 7-1 scoreline, effectively. And sure, it has tapered off coming into the second half, but now that he's got the big green in his hands, could turn it right back on.
Flash keeps him away at the perfect time, though. Right, this is where one is also being lined up. Annihilation's gone, doesn't get a single chance, and westmelon, with that second flash from Nelly to help him out, will just come through big time. Lynn Vision. Another thing to keep in mind is because IHC is on 14, this could be significant. They've got mad money, right? They are not dying effectively in the second half.
They can't afford to. I mean, even if they survive with 1 or 2 players, that's fine. I mean, you're just gonna have to. You're buying every round. You know, if IHC win 1 round, they'll be at 15, and you have no wiggle room. So either way, which way you spin it, they need to just keep winning rounds. But yeah, they're doing so quite convincingly. You know, they're not losing too many lives. I think your point is certainly valid. Triple nade over towards the jump spot over at B. Nobody was even humoring the idea. But now that that bombardment has come out, maybe somebody does decide to shoulder their head over. Zacker's well inside of the site, and they don't have the best weapons to deal with him at range, but Tech 9s means that Zacker will leave.
They're trying to fight double Optimus, and that's where, oh no, the team kill, that could have been everything. bLitz taking down Bartek means that it's right back in a disadvantage for IHC, but Annihilation's trying to make something of it regardless. The deagle around the corner, but the double jump, double peek angle, it's a double pump through, and Starry's got the double kill.
I can't believe westmelon's just decided to jump over him there. That
with
is
no HP.
That is craziness, and he was anticipating a Starry to trade him. That is most likely what's happened, but that is, yeah, he's just throwing his life away. He didn't even die at the end of it, so what do we know?
Double digits.
Yeah. The sweat is definitely building on the morale of IHC. They need this map to force us into a third. Lynn have already taken away IHC's pick in the series in Inferno. And hell, with how this game was going, we thought IHC would just take this one right back, but
yeah,
we're close enough now that we can start to humor the idea of Lynn maintaining control of this game and this series. A lot of territory in this round. Zacker took over short with his AWP, and while he did take some damage for the Endeavor, all leads to being more comfortable allowing westmelon to perform operations over on that B bomb site by his own. Resmoke score is there to at least keep tabs on the resources these B players still have. You see how much they've clustered up in towards the front side of the bathrooms here on Lynn Vision. IHC are still so far back, unsure about what Lynn's next move is going to be, but Lynn have already made their decision. Problem is, the longer they wait, the more they're likely to change their minds.
And Zacker's found a player with utility in his hand. bLitz's demise is going to make this all the more difficult. Zacker even wants to maintain an aggressive position as he's got the cover off and long. That cover, however, now removed. Annihilation has discovered X-Pro. Zacker should be able to hear this utility being chalked out. He's waiting for it. Annihilation. At reveal position, close range, bombs been dropped. Zacker is killing them all. Now even turns around looking for the lurking player in too long, but it doesn't look like they've got time to get the bomb down. 5 seconds on the clock, 4. Right at the nick of it, they push through. Starry's going to be able to find the first and score left in a 1-on-2. Starry on the other side of the smoke, and now he's waiting for westmelon to come out. There won't be no double pumping, double jumping, but there will still be a double kill from Starry. Consistent as always. It's the 11th for Lynn Vision.
Man, what masterful stuff there from Zacker. I mean, to have found himself in toilets, you know, quite late in the round. He was also the first person to sort of take efforts over towards short on B. But once he got himself into the bathrooms, just found fight after fight. And we know Annihilation is fast on that AWP, but he didn't even have time to react to how aggressive Zacker was in his face. You know, a little taste of Annihilation medicine right back at him. And this is part of what you were talking about before on Inferno. Zacker, Annihilation, Dan King, these are all very aggressive offers within the Asian region. So seeing this matchup head-to-head is quite enjoyable to see. Zacher showing us exactly that.
This could be the round that makes or breaks the game.
bLitz has got a lot of space.
Are they going to be expecting him this time over? Later, of course, but they peek out. Still a 1-for-1 trade is more than good enough for the CTs with the kind of information they managed to get. Look at how fast they're rotating back over. Score is still backside, trying to lurk in towards the B bomb site. There is plenty of time to call for the rotate for IHC if they desire to do so. That's why Zacher has stayed his ground. He's waiting. Around the corner he goes. Score managing to duck boss. Could actually end up finding this as well. And Zacher has adjusted accordingly. He's heard the footsteps down. Score's gone. Zacher now needs to defend from short. Perfect position to be in. There are no flashbangs. This is Zacher's field. And he is planting his seed. He will be reaping it very soon as well. Techno. No chance over here unless he pulls off the clutch of a lifetime. A 1-on-3 tagged up, dinked up, 13 HP and X-Pro there to finish him off. 12th secured, no bomb plant either.
Yeah, back-to-back rounds where Zacher gets a 3K and is in the right spot. So reads are great to allow this AWPer to really thrive. And sure, some of the utilities missing, but even just catching, I think he might have spotted just 1 pixel of Score's head. Like, we can see it on the X-ray, and it's very hard to always conceive or put ourselves in the shoes of the player that we're watching to know for certain whether he's acknowledged it. But he understood the timing. He heard all the steps coming down con, and I think he just caught 1 pixel where he saw the very tip top of Score's head and made the instant adjustment. So Zacher's not missing a beat. Man's got eagle eyes. And yeah, IHC have to really be nervous now. Another timeout that was called to reconsider their options.
This is also kind of reminiscent again to call back to the Rear Adam game where they are just buying into things, right? They're not letting go of it. And it's not like Lynn Vision and bad money or anything like it that you can try and exploit. This is very much just a pure, let's rush down B and see what we can get. Starry on the other side of it might make this difficult because he's already found the first. Fades away as well, not taking any damage, and as he repeats back out, finally traded, but only for so long. Nelly comes back into things. Blitz's lurk will find some success, but they've lost so much HP, and they've got so little ground for it. The bomb not planted yet. Annihilation now has got to come up big. Good for the first, but they know Blitz's position should be coming up short, and Nelly's keeping an eye out for it. Oh, the long con.
Yeah, I mean, resetting and cutting time here is really awkward, though. Yeah, for this very reason. Annihilation wanted to buy time for bLitz to make this move, but bomb was dropped deep inside of the site, so they had all the information. They know they have to still commit B. If they had that bomb on the back, they could start to play on the idea that they could re-navigate back towards that A site, but now it's a bLitz 1-on-2 where if he had stuck around, might have been able to trade his teammate at least.
Big one, but he looks away. Worst possible time, and Zacher is having the game that Annihilation did just switch around the halves. He has been a monster, right? 24 and 16. The rest of his team not yet to touch 20. Starry closest behind him on 18. Yeah, and just a reminder to everyone, sorry Michael, but just none of these players had double digits in the first half.
Yeah, they were getting rolled. And this is the thing as well, when we consider what the difference between Annihilation and Zacher is that Zacher's getting a lot more of his kills in the late rounds. When we're seeing these plant attempts and site attempts, Annihilation very frequently sort of instigated and actually sort of takes them off round after round, getting sort of opener kills. Zacher is here more as the finisher. And could be enough to finish off business. You know, they already have 1 map up in the series. IHC need this win, and this is a play that could certainly throw a spanner in the works. Starry pushing all the way through B. There is no presence for IHC, so this flank, they have all the information to work off of.
I mean, this is how you end up in an equalized situation, right? With the big flank, taking out a couple of kills. That's the first one. They spotted out the bomb. The boost is down as well. Bartek will trade, but it is very much a case of too little, too late. Techno's committed out to long, and he has nowhere to go but straight to A. That's where the bomb has also decided to destine itself for. but it's being kept an eye out for by Nelly. Remember, they can still afford to have only one player stacking over towards the B bomb site with Bartek's demise. westmelon can confirm this very soon. This is the equalizer. This has already happened.
And Zacker's just as sharp. This guy feels like he hasn't missed out on multi-kills. I think that's now 4 in a row where he's gotten more than 1 kill in the round. And we're tied up. 14-14 after a 12-3 half of dominance from IHC's CT side. Lynn have clawed it back, and they have stumped the Mongolians.
We're living in the world, baby. We're living in the world.
Yeah, we might be destined for a second Chinese team to foray into ESL Pro League Season 17.
Last proper gun run for IHC. They need to get this one. They need to get something out of it. Starry, though, starts off strong, as he always does, preventing Techno's death ball straight through the smoke to really find anything, and Zacher is just promptly repositioning, but cannot readjust his aim. bLitz and Bartek bring it back to a 3-on-3.
These are the players you want to click and collect on a round here on IHC. Annihilation, bLitz. Bartek as well has had his sphere of influence, has been fighting with the best of them. This makes things a little bit more awkward here for Lynn out in the open. They're actually building a boost, and this is awkward. Annihilation is off the heads, but not finding the kill quite so quickly. Starry now left alone, but actually finds the kill in an isolated duel. Annihilation does trade things out. The rotates here from X-Pro, and Annihilation out in the open. bLitz is dialing in those digits, so it's in-game leader versus in-game leader, and the nade certainly keeps X-Pro at bay. bLitz trying to dance around and finds the right timing. A key round for IHC to win. They're the ones that get to 15 first.
Is this just a Rio Major all over again, right? That's exactly what we saw happen there. IHC face down against this massive comeback. They get the map point again and again and again and again. Could this be something similar, or are Lynn still just going to treat this as a minor hiccup in their road to a victory, in their road to Malta?
Who's the one that lets the mentality slip? Did Lynn lose focus? Have IHC refocus just as things get a little bit too close? So much about the game is mental. Nothing too different about how that round played out than rounds prior, aside from the final finish. And yeah, that spam was close, but X-Pro is none the wiser about the progress they've made. They spotted his foot as well.
bLitz is taking down immediately. They know exactly where he was. This is all the entries going their way. Nelly needs a big moment. Nelly needs to be massive. Nelly is found out and brought down. westmelon and Starry are too late to the party. Starry needs a triple, but a smoke will differentiate him from the bomb site. Moves through it, but there's a Molotov to stop him, and with 12 HP, Starry had no chance. 16-14. IHC bring it all the way back, and I can't believe I'm saying it seems like they made the comeback, right? It seems like they're the ones in the end who were on the back foot consistently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to call this, man. We're looking at this game, and IHC looked completely outdone by. I mean, we're having Zacher really step up with his performances. We're having Starry as well, having these great rounds. Even X-Pro with some of the information he was getting.